Hatsune Miku is probably the most popular Vocaloid singer with over 1 million monthly listeners on her Spotify playlist and tons of millions of views on her music worldwide. This remarkable show of appreciation has made Hatsune Miku well loved by her fans, with people trying to copy Hatsune Miku by making cheap copies of her, while others are finding ways of claiming her for themselves. And amidst all this drama this cute anime girl has spurred on the internet, one man found a way to keep Hatsune Miku to himself by tying the knot with the virtual singer and keeping her by his side forevermore and after. Meet Akihito Kondo, the fine Japanese young man that is beautifully married to Hatsune Miku, a computer-synthesized pop singer who has toured with Lady Gaga and starred in various video games. Mr. Akihito got married to Hatsune Miku back in 2018, and after courting Hatsune Miku for a long time and eventually proposing to her, they finally got engaged. He seems to have found a way to make his marriage work and refers to his relationship with Hatsune Miku as a fictosexual attraction, which surprisingly is an actual term for people who are attracted to fictional characters, and also find it a relatively safe way of introducing sexuality and sensuality for every fictional anime character they have a crush on and fantasize spending time with them under the sheets. Mr. Kondo was dating Hatsune Miku for a decade before they had an unofficial wedding ceremony in Tokyo. According to the 38-year-old, his relationship with the fictional character helped him get out of deep depression. The 38-year-old man revealed that he found love, inspiration, and solace in his relationship with Hatsune Miku to keep himself company in his house without becoming bored by the absence of his non-existent wife. Mr. Akihito spent a good amount of money in purchasing several toys and dolls of Hatsune Miku, and he placed them around different parts of his house and also used them as companions while he had his meals, was watching Netflix on the couch, and spending the night together with them in his bedroom. I'm sure you already have an idea of how interesting these nights must have been for our boy. Mr. Kondo knows that people think it is strange, and he also knows that Miku isn't real. However, he said that his feelings for the fictional character are very much real, even though people think he'll eventually grow out of it. The 38-year-old man wasn't bothered about how people perceived his relationship with this underaged anime character, since according to the details online, Hatsune Miku is 16 years old, and I believe the legal age in Japan is supposedly 18 years old, but I'm guessing this apparently only applies to real life people, and I'm not sure if fictional characters and Vocaloids fall under this rule. Mr. Akihito spends a good amount of time taking his wife Hatsune Miku on cute walks and even on late night dinner dates, and he even invests in sponsoring all of their trips whenever they go on romantic getaways. When we're together, she makes me smile. In that sense, she is real. According to New York Times, Mr. Kondo first found comfort in Miku in 2008 after getting bullied at his job, which sent him into a spiral of depression. He had decided long ago that he will never love a real person, partly because he didn't want the life that Japanese society demanded of him. The 38-year-old man began making songs with Hatsune Miku and purchased a stuffed doll of the character online. If you're enjoying this video so far, please consider subscribing because it helps the channel grow, and I have more videos just like this which I'm sure you'll enjoy watching after watching this one. Hatsune Miku isn't the first fictional character to be engaged in a fictosexual relationship with a real-life person, and way before her marriage, some other people had already expressed their love towards their inanimate fictional companions. Mr. Lee Jin-gyu, who married his pillow in a church, was one of the many people who adopted this new sexuality back in 2010. Mr. Lee cared for his pillow, or Dakimura as it is called in Japan, and even named her Fate after one of the anime characters from a series named Mahou Shouju Lyrical. Ever since he bought the pillow, he started loving it to the core. In fact, he is even having a date with Fate in malls, amusement parks, public parks, and whatever places he goes to, he takes Fate with him. Isn't it really amusing? My love for Fate is unchangeable, but I will take more time to think about our marriage. Other people have also had relationships with fictional characters, and apparently most of these relationships have seemingly been going successfully, with both parties hypothetically pleased and satisfied with each other. Hatsune Miku's marriage to Akihiko is one out of thousands of fictosexual relationships and marriages throughout Japan. It apparently is pretty normal to find people obsessively captivated and infatuated by anime characters in Japan, which is largely considered as the anime capital of the world. Mr. Akihito shares his feelings about his marriage with Hatsune Miku publicly and also updates his followers and supporters on Instagram with photos of his wife living happily ever after. He apparently has gained a following from people who are curious about how such a relationship even works and want to find out what happens next in their marriage, and also just other people who are probably interested in starting a fictosexual relationship with their own favorite anime character and also intend to end up marrying them. Mr. Akihiko believes his marriage to Hatsune Miku is nowhere near a physical marriage, and the two cannot be simply compared. His marriage with Miku has advantages over being with a human partner because she is always there for him, will never betray him, and he will never have to see her get ill or die, which are actually decent reasons and somehow manage to make sense in this context. Since Hatsune Miku is a fictional character, she can only stop existing if the developers decide to discontinue the character, and the only way she can age is if the developers choose to redesign the character and make her older with new exclusive features. Since Mr. Akihiko firmly believes Hatsune Miku will never cheat on him and will always be there for him, this reassures him every time he even decides to question his decision of even deciding to marry a virtual character, thinking she can only ever be exclusive to him, since if the developers decided, they could just create a new character and make them either siblings or cousins to Hatsune Miku, or even make them a character Hatsune Miku has a relationship with, which could then pose to become a big problem to Mr. Akihiko. Another obstacle that could interfere with their marriage is the possibility of other people who may also have feelings and intend to pursue a relationship with Hatsune Miku as well. Since Miku is a character that is revered and loved not just in Japan and other parts of Asia, but worldwide, it wouldn't be surprising to find a large number of people who also have feelings for this fictional character but are not just as popular as Mr. Akihiko. So this could pose to become a major problem in their marriage and could potentially cause issues between these two lovebirds. With words like cheating and infidelity being thrown into the air. Now, just like every married couple since the entire history of marriage, Mr. Akihiko and Hatsune Miku have had their fair share of ups and downs. In their 5 years of marriage, they barely had any major complications until the pandemic hit and everything changed. But before then, Mr. Akihiko and Hatsune Miku were able to make their marriage possible and also interact with each other through a little device made by a company called Gatebox, a 1300 machine that allowed device owners to interact with characters via holograms and even unofficially marry them. This little device brought every fictosexual's dreams to life and made their fantasies of having their favorite anime characters come to life and have physical interactions with them. These holograms could be communicated and interacted with by text, chat, and allows the users to activate the device wirelessly by using specific movements, which are then received by the device through Wi-Fi. After dating and courting Hatsune Miku for over 10 years, Mr. Akihiko finally proposed to her flickering holographic representation through the Gatebox device, and to which she replied, "Please treat me well." But when the pandemic hit back in 2020, Mr. Akihiko's beautiful marriage began crumbling apart. Gatebox developers announced they could no longer continue the service for Hatsune Miku due to the nature of things that were happening in the world at that time, and referred to the situation as uncontrollable due to the pandemic surge. After 4 years of marriage, his relationship with Miku has hit a roadblock, but he also added that it hasn't lessened his feelings for Miku. Miku. His love for Miku hasn't changed, and he plans to be faithful to the fictional character until he dies. After the company made the tragic announcement, they immediately replaced Hatsune Miku's digital hologram with the words "network error," further leaving Mr. Akihiko in distraught and all the fans in his growing online community who were following the marriage in utter disappointment. Kondo still offers time and effort to connect with the figures of Hatsune Miku remaining in his possessions. The man now depends on the images and dolls of the fictional character for emotional connection due to the absence of the chat and receive features brought by the device. Even in the face of tragedy, Mr. Akihiko still finds a way to make his marriage work and holds on to the last bit of hope he has that his wife will somehow come back to him. He also made it known to the people calling his marriage bizarre and weird, especially since Hatsune Miku was a fictional character and clearly a figment of imagination, that his feelings for Hatsune Miku were genuine and reserved only for Hatsune Miku and nobody else. I believe there still is hope for him since Gatebox announced a new holographic device last year called the Gatebox Grand with new exciting features and also comes as a life-sized holographic AI. They also emphasized on the models having adult-sized proportions and could also be programmed for different scenarios. This left an impression on all the people who always had fantasies with their favorite characters, and the announcement had a number of interesting comments on every article it was covered in. At least now we can fully believe there still is hope for Mr. Akihiko's beautiful marriage, and also just a better way to bring their dreams to life for every other person who dreams of having a fictosexual relationship with their favorite waifu. There are thousands of fictosexual people in Japan, and they have begun similar unofficial relationships with a variety of anime figures. Tens of thousands more around the globe have joined online groups where they discuss their commitment to their characters from anime, manga, and video games. So we can just hope for the best for them and see what the new coming year brings us, because I'm also eager to see what next comes in their marriage and if Mr. Akihiko is going to shock the world with a surprise that him and his 16-year-old life-size holographic representation of Hatsune Miku are going to have a child. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. Please leave the video a like if you enjoyed it, share the video with a friend who is in love with a waifu, and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I'll see all you pretty penguins in the next video. Bye.